வெல்கம் டு அவர் சேனல் பி சிம்பிள். இதுவரை நம்ம சேனலை சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணாதவங்க சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்க. மறக்காம பக்கத்தில் இருக்கிற பெல் ஐக்கானை கிளிக் பண்ணுங்க.
Prose. Tight corners. Comprehension questions based on the lesson. A. Describe the activity that was going on in the sale room at King Street. Christie's, the famous auction house, was situated at King Street. Auctions for barbarism pictures were going on in Christie's and people were buying them for thousands of guineas. B. What can you say about the author's attitude when he high-handedly participated in the auction? The author wanted to enjoy the fun out of bidding. He thought he could be safe if he bid in the beginning stage. C. Why was the author sure he would not be caught? He was adding a few pounds in the beginning and he was hopeful that others would ask for more. So he was sure that he would not be caught. D. What made the author ignore his friend's warning? He was very careful to add something in the beginning of the bidding and so far he was safe. He thought he would not be caught, so he ignored his friend's warning. E. How had the author managed the auction without getting involved in the deal? He was careful to add something in the beginning so that the bid would be raised by others. In this way he was escaping from being caught. F. What came as a shock to the author? Usually the auctions for pictures started with modest sums. But when a new picture was displayed, a dealer made a high bid for 4,000 guineas. Without realizing the value of the bid, he as usual added 50 more to the bid. Unfortunately, the dealer gave up his bid. This was a big shock to the author. G. What did the falling of hammer indicate? The falling of hammer indicated that the bidding was over. H. What made the friend laugh heartily? His friend warned him not to play with the bidding, but he went on adding something raising the bidding rate. Finally he was caught, so his friend laughed heartily. I. What kind of excuses did the narrator think he could make? He thought that he could confess his poverty to one of the staff of Christie's and ask him to put up the picture again for sale. J. Why did the friend desert the narrator a second time? When the narrator was standing in the queue, his friend came to him, but he could not control his laughter. So he left the narrator to find a suitable place to laugh. K. How does the narrator describe the man who approached him? The man who approached him was like a messenger of high gods with green baize apron who spoke in husky Cockney tone. L. How does the narrator show presence of mind in the sudden turn of events? The man who approached him informed him that the dealer was willing to give him 50 guineas for the picture, but he asked for 100 guineas and got the money. Thus he showed his presence of mind. M. The narrator would not forget two things about his friend. What are they? One is his laughter when the narrator was caught. Another one is persuading him to get into the auction room. Answer the following questions. A. What is a tight corner? What happens when one finds oneself in a tight corner? Tight corner means difficult situation. When one finds oneself in a tight corner, one will be afraid and one will try his best to come out of the situation. B. What is the difference between a physical and mental tight corner? Physical tight corner is the one where a person's safety is in trouble. Mental tight corner is the one where dilemmas and difficult choices are involved. C. Why did the narrator visit Christie's? The narrator entered the Christie's because he was persuaded by his friend to see the auction inside. D. The narrator heard his own voice saying "50." What does this suggest? The narrator, without his knowledge and any understanding of the situation, said "50." E. What was the narrator's financial condition? He had only £63 in his bank. He did not have securities even for £500. F. The narrator could not pretend to have made a mistake in bidding. Why? The narrator had made many other bids before he was caught. Moreover, a genuine mistake of this kind must have been rectified in the beginning itself. So he knew that no one would believe him. G. What could have been the best way for the narrator to get himself out of the tight corner? The best way for the narrator to get himself out of the tight corner could have been to confess his mistake to one of the Christie's staff and make him put up the picture again for auction. H. Why did the narrator feel he could have welcomed a firing party? The narrator did not have enough money to pay for the picture after the auction was over. He could have welcomed a firing party because that would bring his death and he need not be humiliated in front of others. I. What was the bidder's offer to the narrator? The bidder offered the narrator 50 guineas. A. How did the narrator take advantage of the situation? When the bidder sent a man to ask the narrator whether he was ready to give the picture for 50 guineas, he wanted to take advantage of the situation. He asked for 100 guineas and he got it for the picture. Paragraph. The narrator's friend took him to the Christie's, an auction house in King Street. In the sale room, barbers and pictures were auctioned and many dealers were participating. The narrator had just 63 guineas in his bank, but he joined the bidding, just for fun. Every time after his bidding, some other person outbid him. The narrator felt happy and safe. His friend warned him against bidding, but the narrator did not listen to him. Then, a picture was put up and the red-faced dealer offered 4,000 guineas. Immediately the narrator offered an 50, expecting the red-faced dealer would outbid him. But nothing happened. The auctioneer announced that the narrator had bought the picture. Thus the narrator was caught in a tight corner. Simplified paragraph. Tight corner means to be in a difficult situation physically or mentally. The narrator made the bidding just for fun. Unfortunately, he had made the highest bid without having that much amount. Suddenly a stroke of luck befell the narrator. There was no need for him to make any payment. Thus he was saved from humiliation.
Thank you for watching. இந்த வீடியோவை பற்றின உங்களோட கருத்துக்களை கமெண்டில் சொல்லுங்கள். இதுவரை நம்ம சேனலை சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணாதவங்க மறக்காமல் சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்கள், லைக் பண்ணுங்கள், ஷேர் பண்ணுங்கள்.